Good evening, church. Thank you for joining us for what would be our typical Wednesday night Bible study. We are going to do things a little differently tonight. As the staff, they will be joining me and giving you a much needed update on where we are in regards to ministry and operations here at First Baptist Church. I know that many of you have been wondering, are we ever going to get to have worship services again on our campus? Some of you have wondered about key events and important dates that's on our church calendar. Maybe it's kids camp or youth camp. Are those camps still going? What about Vacation Bible School? Are we still going to get to have VBS here the first week of June? Maybe some of you have a child that is graduating from high school and you're wondering about Graduate Sunday. I know Graduate Sunday is a very special day in our church. Has that been canceled? Is it still the same date? Has it been rescheduled? The staff and I are going to do our very best tonight to try to update you on where we are with these events and ministries. Now, I will tell you this. Everything that we talk about is subject to change. We no longer live in a world where anything is set in stone anymore, at least not for the current time. Everything seems to change daily with COVID-19 and the recommendations and restrictions that have been put in place. So the staff, we have been praying, we have been tossing around ideas, we have been trying to explore every possible option, and we have also been waiting to hear back from other organizations such as those that oversee camps and wanting to make sure that we can give you the current factual information about those events and also where we feel led as a staff about some of the events that we have here at our church. So, some of the dates that we're going to share with you that have been rescheduled, they could possibly be rescheduled again. We're going to just see how it goes week by week, and we'll go from there. But we believe that as long as God allows, this is how we're going to continue to do ministry as a church. One of the first things that I do want to share is a verse from the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 1. And it says, "Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established." The authorities that that exist have been established by God. So we see here in this verse that church, God has ordained leadership. He has ordained government. So I believe that it's important, not only as Christians, but as a church body, to make sure that we are following this passage in being the best citizens that we can to this country, in addition to fulfilling the mandate that God has for His New Testament church. So, with that said, let's get started in looking at where we are with the season that we're in regards to COVID-19 and doing ministry here at First Baptist Church. Okay, so the question was, how will we continue to operate at First Baptist Church during the COVID-19 pandemic? So we've put a list together, and these are the ways that currently we feel as a church staff are the best ways that we can minister to all of you and to this community. First, we're going to continue to stream our Sunday school, our Sunday morning worship, and our Wednesday night Bible studies. Now, that may not be what you wanted to hear right now. You were hoping maybe that we were going to get to come back together soon, and that was what we had hoped, but that's just not where we are right now. So, we're going to continue to put up our Sunday school lessons each week. We're continuing to invest into our live stream services. Brother Tracy's going to share about that in just a little bit, and also with our Wednesday night Bible studies. In addition to that, during the week, our church staff, we're continuing to work here in the office Monday through Thursdays from 8:30 to 4:30. There's going to be someone in the office at all times. If you need to come by for anything, if you need to drop anything off, just to come by and say hello. We love just to step outside and say hello to you, but we will be here for whatever you need, continuing Monday through Thursday from 8:30 to 4:30. Also, our Learning Center is getting ready to reopen, and it is going to reopen on Monday, May the 18th. Be in prayer about that, and we'll tell you a little bit more about the Learning Center in just a few minutes. Also, committees will continue to meet or begin having meetings, whether continue to do them by Zoom, if our committees have been meeting through Zoom, but also, since our committees are all under 10 people, we feel very comfortable and feel that it's very safe if you wanted to start having your committee meetings here. Some of our committees have already been meeting here on campus: our Finance Committee, our Personnel Committee, and our Building and Grounds Committee. They've been holding meetings for the last few weeks. They're held in our sanctuary where everyone can sit in a pew, and we have microphones if need be. But if you're on a committee, you can start meeting right now during this season to just keep everyone updated on current statuses of your ministries or just planning for the future. So that's how we're going to continue to operate going forward. Now, many of you have called and asked about where we are with the church elevator project. This was a project that our church voted on in a special call business meeting a few weeks ago to approve our team from the church that has been working on this project to go ahead and to enter a contract with a construction company. And so this is the update that we have from our elevator team at this point. Currently, all plans are moving forward. We're not delaying this project right now. We're going to continue moving forward with it as we feel that it is a great time to do the construction for this elevator since we're not moving on campus. However, things are not moving as quickly as we would like, as we are in the contract stage of getting this project going, where we're making sure that the contract reads for the best for our church and going forward. And so they are finalizing that contract right now with the construction company. And in the next week, they hope to have finalized that, and then the project is ready to begin construction. Also, the Word Building Demolition update. Some of you have called and asked about that project that our trustees have been working hard and trying to get done as well. Where we are with this from our trustees, the asbestos removal is currently ongoing, and it is expected to be completed by May 15th. Also, the demolition is going to begin shortly after that, and they feel very confident that the demolition can actually start no later than June the 12th. So that project is moving along very nicely. It's moving along quickly, and so we hope that in the next few weeks that the Word Building demo is well underway. So now I want to talk to you about small groups. If you said, Shandy, how are we as a church going to be able to start meeting back on campus? I believe that the only possible way that's going to happen in the next few weeks is through small groups. And I want to tell you why. First off, we believe here, Brother Tracy and I, that small groups should be less than 10 people. Small groups, we don't see that as something similar to a Sunday school class where you may have many in your class. A small group is just the way it's defined. It is a small group of people who will come together to have a Bible study for accountability, to encourage one another, and to pray. And we feel that starting in the month of June, groups of 10 or less, maybe even 15 or less, they can start meeting on our campus and having small group Bible studies. Let me explain to you how these small groups are going to work. First, we're going to limit them to 10 people, 15 max. But our goal is to keep them at 10 people. And these small groups will currently, whenever this starts, they will meet in the sanctuary. They will meet in a large classroom that we will construct to meet the needs of the small group, or also in the gym lobby. The gym lobby is currently getting a makeover. We hope that it is done by the time the month of June rolls around, but if it's not done by then, we'll still have the sanctuary and other makeshift classrooms where small groups can meet. These classrooms, we're going to ask in these small groups that you practice social distancing guidelines. That means staying away the appropriate amount of feet between people. It may include wearing a mask. We're going to follow the recommendations given from our government leaders whenever this rolls around in June. But they will practice social distancing guidelines. We're going to make sure that doors will be open for you when it is your appointed time for your Bible study, to where you will not have to worry about touching a whole lot of things. We want to limit that as much as possible. Church access. If you would like to have a small group study, the way that you can make that possible is it's going to be requested through our church office. You would call Diane or Gaynell at the church office, or whoever is answering the phones here at the time. You're going to ask if you can have a Bible study of this number of people, which again needs to be 10 or less, unless that number is increased by local officials. Second, that Bible study needs to be approved by our discipleship pastor, Brother Tracy, or myself. We want to make sure that the Bible studies are beneficial for you, that they are sound doctrinal teaching, in addition to helping disciple you, to help you grow in your relationship with Jesus. So again, how these small groups are going to work, we're going to limit to 10 people. We'll be able to meet in our sanctuary where you can sit in your own pew, and someone can be at the front leading that Bible study, or in a large classroom that we're going to construct to meet your needs, or if the work in the gym floor is done, you can meet there. Practice social distancing guidelines, whatever that looks like, and also making sure that you go through our church office to request to be able to have the Bible study, who's going to be a part of it, what the curriculum is going to be, and once we have all that in place, we hope that Bible studies through our small groups can begin. I'm excited about the possibility, church, of all of us getting together in different small groups, being able to have Bible studies together. We're going to try to create different Bible study options that you can sign up for. And when you sign up for this particular Bible study, you will we're going to ask you to stay in that Bible study until it's completed, not jumping from one study to the next week to week. We want to make sure that we can get as many Bible studies going as we can through our small groups, and we want to make sure that we can give as many people access to those in meeting the social distancing guidelines. So be in prayer about that, and in the next few weeks we're going to have some information about who's going to be teaching Bible studies, what the Bible study topics are, and if you would like to be signed up for one of those, we'll get you signed up. So at this time, Brother Tracy Gray, he's going to come and he's going to share with you where we are in our worship services, our media technology, and everything that we're trying to do to make the best worship experience for you, since right now we are committed solely to reaching you through our local cable, our internet, through their website, and through Facebook Live. So at this time, Tracy's going to share.
Hey First Baptist family, I wanted to give you a quick update on some exciting things that are happening in our worship and discipleship ministries. We have been using this time with our standard in-house services to make some very much needed technology upgrades in our audiovisual department. These upgrades include 2 brand new high-definition cameras, more RAM for higher logistical capacity for our central computer in the balcony, and we are looking into upgrading our internet to benefit the quality of our live streaming of our Sunday morning services. Also, I personally have been blessed to be able to spend some extra quality time getting to know the praise team and the audiovisual team, as we've been working all very diligently to prepare these services to worship with you weekly. We are currently planning for the future in the area of discipleship for when we can begin meeting in low numbers. Small group Bible studies are being planned and developed. There will be more information to come on that topic real soon. Church, we want to say that we love you. Please continue to pray for us as we do the work of the ministry during this transitional time.
Hey FBC family, just wanted to quickly update you guys on some of our children's ministry events. The things that we're doing to stay in touch with your kids through this quarantine time is still sending out Wednesday night lessons for parents to do at home with their kids, and also posting and uploading some Sunday school videos on Sunday mornings for you to do with your family as well. We have had some changes, and I just want to update you guys on a few things. Century Kid Camp is still scheduled for July 10th through the 12th at Shaco Springs, and if anything changes per COVID restrictions, we'll let you know. Lastly, Vacation Bible School has been rescheduled. It is no longer going to be in June. We are going to reschedule it for Sunday nights in October of 2020. Thank you.
Hey FBC Youth, we just want to catch everybody up to speed on what's going on since we're not able to meet in person. So what we're going to do is send out a weekly update email. Just remember to check your reminds and email, and if you're not on that, send me a text and I'd love to get you set up. And what we want to do in just this video is just kind of catch everybody up to speed on what's going on. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on, current events and future, but one of those future events that I kind of want to go over is camp. I know originally we were scheduled to go to Strength to Stand this summer, June 19th to the 22nd, but with everything going on, we're going to cancel that trip. And so our tentative date now is July 1st to the 5th at Shaco Springs. This will be an FBC Youth only retreat, but feel more than welcome to invite friends and bring anybody that you'd like. But that's our tentative date, and the more info we get, we'll send out. Another thing that's going on that I know for you seniors you're looking forward to is graduation Sunday. And so what we still want to do is give the seniors a graduation Sunday to attend. And so that'll be held June 14th at 3 p.m. And so with that being said, keep sending in all your pictures and anything that you'd want me to say at graduation Sunday. And just to finish it up, we are still wanting to do weekly services. I've really enjoyed our Zoom meetings and everything going on. But this week we're actually going to have a drive-in service tomorrow night here at the service, or in the parking lot for a drive-in service, and that'll be at 5 o'clock. Park your cars, and then we'll hand out food and drinks and everything like that. But with all that being said, continue to do your FBC times 3, read 3 chapters, pray 3 times a day, and reach out to 3 people. I'll see you soon.
Just a couple more announcements before we sign off for the night. Just wanted to update you on the status of our Learning Center. We know that many of you have been praying for Ms. Terry, for our staff at the Learning Center, for our students. And after a couple of months of having to be closed, we are excited to announce that the Learning Center is going to reopen on May the 18th. So many things have to fall into place and things have to be done before we open, so please be in prayer for Ms. Terry, the staff, as they are working right now and trying to get the Learning Center back open. A few dates that you need to be remembering if your child is a part of the Learning Center. Open registration for the fall semester will begin July 1st. We are currently allowing students to come back to the Learning Center that had already been enrolled, but open registration for the fall will begin on July 1st. You can call the church office when that time happens and speak to Ms. Terry at the Learning Center to find more information about that. But then also on July 31st, we will have graduation for our pre-K class, as they will be getting ready to start what we call Big Kid School in the fall, as they will go to kindergarten. So be in prayer about those dates. And with everything else, these things can be subject to change depending on the COVID-19 situation. So we'll keep you updated as best we can. These are the current plans for the Learning Center. I do want to remind you that I hope that you are participating in FBC times 3. I challenged you to this church about a month ago, and the challenge was to read 3 chapters a day in your Bible, to pray 3 times a day, and make 3 connections a day, whether it be through text message, phone call, an email, through social media. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of this, who has been doing this faithfully. We've received calls from so many of you that said you were one of my 3 today. And what an encouragement that has been to me and our staff, but also as your pastor, to hear that you're doing this. We have a wonderful church body that is just loving on one another, reaching out. So if you've not done this, I want to encourage you. This isn't just a great blessing to others. This is a great blessing for you. You will be blessed by this and you will enjoy this. And so I want to challenge you to grow deeper in your relationship with Christ and also your relationship with others. So be a part of FBC times 3. So that wraps up this video of just kind of letting you know where we are as a church. through this COVID-19 pandemic. We hope and we pray that things are going to continue to improve. And as everything else, this may change a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now. But our prayer is that things move forward to being able to do the things that we've shared in this video, and also to be able to have the events that we have rescheduled. Church, again, we thank you for just your prayers and just everything that you've done during this time. And if there's anything we can do for you, please do not hesitate to call, reach out to us. We love you, we're praying for you, and we'll talk to you again soon.